taking away the meta champions is what really unlocks some of the fun.
Yeah, nothing says fun like meta bans.
I mean, what else would you ban?
I mean, bans don't. There's no fun in banning.
Ban TS.
Banning is literally there to decrease fun. Actually, it depends. In solo queue, sometimes you're banning out champs you don't want to play against, and it increases fun.
That's
like Zeds and
Draven.
Dravens. Yeah.
Kha'Zix.
Darius.
Oh my god, Darius. Not happy at all, Sejuani and Kha'Zix. So jungler's been taken away now for these next two. Kind of a mixed bag on the ban side, but I guess there's a decent amount of flexibility you have. I will say that a lot of the strong champions are still currently open.
Yeah, the Sejuani and Kha'Zix bans are a little bit of a surprise to me when you see Olaf and Skarner running around like crazy. There's the Olaf. We'll see if the Skarner joins the list or if Golden Guardians will get that power pick to themselves.
I just feel like you have to ban it away here if you're TSM Academy, but
you could not.
Perhaps they know something. I mean, yeah, they absolutely could not.
The worst that happens.
All right, they banned GP, so we'll find out what the worst could happen.
Well, the worst is Golden Guardians picks it, and then from there, the worst would be that the Skarner runs around, kills everybody. Instead, might get a Varus first pick.
We do get a Varus first pick.
Wow.
Hopefully nobody wants Skarner and we get something different instead. Remember, fun is on the table still. I'm expecting, all right, never mind. The fun's gone, it's all over. I'm done. First pick and Skarner after second rotation.
Well, we'll see where it goes from here, Pastry.
It's not anywhere fun. Not yet. I remain unconvinced after two picks.
I would love to see a random support pick here. Or Caitlyn. Yeah, that would really blow my head back.
That could be a random support pick. Dare to dream. We'll be dreaming for a while. All right. Golden Guardians Academy, what fun do you have in store for us?
We shall see. As that pick, you know, that's
thrilling.
My heart is racing. Probably from all the caffeine I've had today, but potentially from these picks. I'm not quite sure.
All right, well, 10 seconds for Potluck to make up his mind. He's made it up. And
decisive boy.
And I was going to say, you know, the most fun thing we could see would be Tahm Kench.
Yeah, so that way Skarner can't get any kills. I don't want kills this game.
The anti-fun champ.
Get Janna in there with Caitlyn while we're at it.
I don't even know if Tahm Kench is fun for the Tahm Kench player. I enjoy watching Tahm Kench because I can visibly feel the frustration of the people when they get saved by Tahm Kench.
Oh my god, I was kidding.
All right, let's just talk about the next phase of bans.
Yeah, let's talk about them. I mean, you're going to have a pushing lane bottom that's slowly going to lose their turrets over the first 10 minutes of the game. That you're going to have a really hard time finding kills down there. So hopefully the solo laners save us and they can...
I have no basis for this slander, but I'm just going to put the blame squarely on Ryler's shoulders. He's been the best performing member. He's playing Caitlyn. He's probably like, pick Janna, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure Shady's like, is it? I don't think I have that much fun when I play Janna. I press E on you, and sometimes a Zach launches himself at me and I press Q. And maybe R if I really need to.
The things going bad when you have to press
R.
If
I miss my Q because the one skill-intensive part of Janna eludes me, I guess I can have to press R.
All right, Camille and Karma banned away. So I actually like the Karma ban. Kind of back on track slightly. I mean, this is the kind of team and pick you do want to you can play heavily around your TSM Academy. So taking away the upper support you can play in mid lane makes a lot of sense. Galio also pretty good. Camille's already banned, but I guess with Zach, we'll need to take that option away as well.
Yep, the Karma works well with the Skarner pick, giving them extra speed to find those pickoffs. You have a pushing bot lane, you get a pushing mid lane, you probably grab some kind of pushing top lane, go for 3 pushing lanes, especially if it's carry on the top side, then you're not lacking damage when you grab that Karma, so not bad to see it banned out. The Gnar blind pick locked in, just solidifying that ball of fun that TSM is building.
All right, GG's Academy, there are a lot of interesting counter picks you can play into Gnar. Will Jenkins play one of them?
Aurelia can play Aurelia, she's getting reworked soon. One of the last times we might see Aurelia before she gets
Darius. Just get him in there. Get them all in there.
Rumble.
That'll do. All right,
fine.
I'll take it. Rumble here in the top side there for Jenkins. So 80 mid lane? Question mark?
Maybe. I mean, Varus has some AD.
There's some. There's a decent amount of magic damage as well, but
yeah, and it's tough. I mean, the Rumble versus Gnar matchup isn't that bad for Rumble. We haven't seen too much Rumble since his item, not the item, excuse me, the Mastery and Rune rework. So I'll be curious to see what he takes. Cassio is the lock-in. And this is a team without a ton of lockdown for that Rumble. I mean, you do have the Varus ult to kick things off with, and then you drop the Rumble ult on top of it. But if you're not landing it onto the Caitlyn or Janna directly, it's not great. That said, the Rumble is nice against the Janna because you can't disengage an equalizer.
Nope, certainly not. Oh, baby. TSM really
Boreana.
Boreana. They're fun go-getters that love to mix things up and do crazy stuff.
I mean, TSM to me always just has this like, kind of like almost like corporate, like we do work, business, beep, boop, and then they lock this in to do nothing to change my preconceptions of them.
No, Ariana, the last pick there for a Blaze Olive. Well, I guess they want to win.
Why? Weird. I don't know why they would want to end the season with their best foot forward, but here they go.
All right, we'll see what happens though. Maybe the Rumble will mix things up more than we expect. I think with a lot of the AP item changes, patch ago, people maybe thought that Rumble, you know, got some love there. There's some of the items that could help him out, but it's been so long since we've seen this champion be successful.
Yeah, I mean, so there's the question mark of the runes that he goes with. There's the question of what he builds now. Leandry is losing its flat penetration. Does kind of ruin his one item power spike where you get double pen just with boots and that. Drop your ult on top of people and start burning away in them. Now you don't really have that choice. We do see Arcane Comet as the rune of choice. Going to be able to get that, assuming he lands an Electro Harpoon. We'll set that up pretty nicely. Nara going Airy. Anything else that's interesting? No.
I was going to say, after the draft we just went through, I'm pretty sure you knew the answer to that without having to ask the question out loud. No fun in runes or really in draft, so we'll see what transpires here in this game. Still pride on the line here for these two teams as they close out their season in spring for Academy.
Yep, and so TSM, they have a very strong pushing bot lane down there, which will try and siege the turret down. Skarner and Orianna can work well to potentially find pickoffs in the mid lane. Obviously, Bobchin does not go cleanse against Skarner, so you have some extra setup there. So you can potentially find a kill around there. And then also on the top side, Rumble versus Gnar is a bit of a volatile matchup that can get influenced by the jungler and can kind of get out of hand in both directions. So we'll have to see if there's any attention paid up to the top side as well.
Right now, Grig's starting on the red buff by all accounts. Opposite side there for Potluck, starting on his red, but on the right-hand side. Gonna get help from Special and Jurassic.
Yes, and on the mirrored starts this time around, as there's not an obvious plan. We talked about in that TLA C9 game where both junglers understand the top side is going to be very influential, so both teams start around the bot lane. This time, not a clear path that they want to go for, and they're clear, so they're just going for one of the best clears in the game. You're going red, Raptors, hard farming.
That also helps to give your Caitlyn Jana lane priority on the wave, which is what happened. And again, continuing the trend of this team being pretty Rylai's-centric, and he has looked good this split so far.
Yep. Definitely been the shining beacon on this team. While he did play great and rarely made mistakes, it did feel like someone else needed to step up around him for the team to really find victory. So Mr. Rylai's was always performing, but they needed good games out of one of the other three kind of playmakers on the team, whether that's top, jungler, or mid, to actually have a chance to win a lot of their games. And that's why they struggled so much this split, was those members were inconsistent. Sometimes a Blaze Olive looks fantastic. Sometimes it looks like he's shuffling in and kind of killing himself on his ear. So they didn't have that consistent second carry to step up with Mr. Rylai's.
Well, see what transpires again in this game, as right now, so far so good for Blaze Olive, but Bobchin doing just fine. Pulls that wave away with a miasma, and gets down with ease. And topside, quick check in, but looks like the wave's pushing in, so not much for Jenkins to do here other than farm right this second.
Jenkins was known as the Kennen player, branching out a little bit here. Wouldn't mind to see Kennen. Is a good matchup in Gnar in the past.
Scott reminded me of all the cool things that could have happened, Mark. Sorry, we're in this game instead. And it looks like pressure coming to the bot side. Actually, a super early Infernal take.
Yeah, well, with how much pressure they have around the bot lane, this is pretty understandable. You have the double shields as well, making sure that Grig doesn't actually take that much damage. Plus, he gets his own shield, so a lot of ways to protect this, but it went a little slow.
Yeah, maybe too slow. Smite is there, so it does get taken down by Grig. Potluck going to be late, but the first blood maybe gifted over. Grig going to look for a flash, does find it, but Potluck able to follow through the wall. No teammates left to run to, so Grig's going to go down. That's first blood to Potluck.
And there you see it. The aggressive play, getting in the Infernal Dragon, but resulting in his death. Hard to say if that's worth it or not. There's not really that many jungle camps up. There's no places to gank. So grabbing the Infernal Dragon and losing a member is probably worth it in the long run for TSM. You just see it took too long to actually do that dragon. Didn't go back to base yet, I believe. So just gets taken very, very slowly. gets killed as a result. But like we said, probably worth it.
Probably. Kind of curious to see that Potluck didn't give the kill over to his mid laner. I think Bobson was moving up for. I think maybe partly why Greg turned around. Still, not a huge deal, as a good trade there from Jurassic and Special. Getting damage in onto Rales, who is not shopped yet. No one has really right now. So Blazeolive's going to get grounded into the miasma. Electro Harpoon on really good damage, but not enough to force a flash, just the heal.
It's one of the things I like about good Rumble players is you see them not just focus on their lane. Rumble as a champion actually roams relatively well because while you don't have the hard CC, if someone else can bring that, you can kind of make your way down and from very interesting angles gank, quote unquote, by dropping that equalizer from crazy places. Electro Harpoon also not too bad either, so you see Pre-6 roam there, getting the heal out.
Yeah, and again, not too far behind it, probably push the wave out. So now just going to hang out, let these creeps kind of freeze-ish near that turret. Greg looking for someone, it's Bobshin, but not caught window shopping, going to go back now under that turret. Predator is up and ready for the Skarner, but level 6 is not going to be pretty much a full level away as he moves in to take this Spire.
Grabbing Spires, letting people know where he is on the map by taking them. And it's pretty good actually because it allows this bot lane to continue to pressure more aggressively. They know the jungler's down their side of the map, don't really want to step up and risk anything. 10 CS lead has developed from Mr. Rales. Looks like he wants to back to start getting his BF sword, probably not enough money for that. And that's when you really start doing damage to this turret. Ooh. As just in range, I don't think Shady got the shield off to stop that recall from getting interrupted.
No. If you're wondering, that is how that... I mean, recall has a lot of interesting properties, but that is one of them I think some people miss. I didn't know it for a while. So
yeah.
If you take damage on a shield that doesn't break it, you will complete your recall. You have to take quote-unquote real damage or CC.
Real damage, not that fake damage.
Not that fake damage, it just damage your shield and almost cost you your job. This Bobshin gonna take down that control ward, level 6, here charging up. Same story here for a Blazeolive as they just trade farm back and forth.
Yep, pretty slow in the mid lane. Orianna should be the favor in this matchup, but with that early pressure that came, as well as losing his heal, Blazeolive playing back a little bit more, but now that he hits 6, gonna wait on Skarner 6, not quite there yet, but that's when you assume you start seeing all the playmaking around the mid lane.
Greg is there now, so he's gonna go back and hopefully use that ulti somewhere. Rales has also got that BF sword that you expected, has some boots as well to join with the consumables, so should be off to the races and pushing this lane back again, trying to pressure these turrets and maybe even find some harass.
And the big reason that this is such a bad matchup, bad in air quotes again here, for Varus is because that 1300 gold power spike that you see coming with the BF sword does not get matched easily by Ginsu's user. So he ends up with a pickaxe and some daggers compared to just the BF sword, so it makes it a little uncomfortable for him to try and contest the priority that Caitlyn's trying to establish.
I like this invade though from Golden Guardians, just keeping things active. As Greg is wanting to start this blue up and hand it over, but here comes Potluck and Special. Chilling Smite already out. Greg actually going to get slapped onto his own blue buff. Shady roaming up here, going to try and protect it. Rale's here, but Golden Guardian's roaming pretty quickly. Blazeolive going to try and cut off Bobshin, and the blue buff goes over, but it is to the junglers, so invade's somewhat effective there for GG's.
Part 1 completed. Part 2 is get your blue buff on Bobshin to make sure that you have a blue buff advantage from mid lane. And it feels like they're going to be able to do that. Potluck kind of going through the mid lane.
Might as well. And Blazeolive just sidesteps forward and dodges out of the way pretty easily. So now looks like they'll go over and do that blue buff. Although perhaps a contest coming as Brandini is collapsing.
Yep, Brandini can come down. Getting the recall to come in from Jenkins, maybe a TP flank as a result. We'll have to see how this one plays out. A lot of ultimates available for this fight.
Potluck tagged by a boomerang there from Brandini, and it is TSM that are going to start this blue buff. Potluck though trying to go over. Again looking for the stretching strikes, but not going to land it. Blazeolive here with the ulti, but Bobshin also defending with the miasma. Smite fight incoming, and goes over to Potluck, I believe.
Yeah, I think Greg
Greg did get it. Nice smite from him, able to secure it.
Yep, and there you see both
No,
mid
it is Potluck. That's really confusing. But no mid laner's got the buff. That's the important part.
No mid laners with their buffs. Both of them are sad boys. They do have their tiers. They will be able to stack.
I think they're extra sad boys then if they have tiers.
Yeah. Good one.
Oh, interestingly, it does give them a crap ton of mana, so kind of offsetting the blue buff.
Yeah, they're still sad because they wanted to stack their tiers faster. Not going to be able to do so.
Truly sad when you can't stack your tiers fast enough.
Yep.
It's right itself. I enjoyed it, Mark. I'm sorry you didn't.
No. I mean, it's
okay. We're going to move on.
It's more about the game than the joke. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Well, we'll move on. As bot lane not getting quite the, I think, pushing pressure that Riley's envisioned when he picked this lane. I think John is maybe a little too vulnerable here.
It is a little surprising, especially with the somewhat tracked aggression by both teams thus far. Zach has made his way down a couple times, but you know, when he's up on that topside invade, you would expect Janna and Caitlyn to be pushing that lane extremely hard, but instead it's still in the middle of the lane despite both junglers being accounted for it at that part of the game.
Lock over. Grig is going to spot him. Now it's a 2v2, but Grig actually just maybe the target. Going to look to try and stun somebody down. Good ult there from the Casio, and now the kidnap's going to come through. Grig forced to flash away. Flash forward there. Going to try and finish it off. The Tom Kench is coming in, and now it's 4v1. Great ult, but a good flash from a Blaze Olive.
Felt like TSM just couldn't quite get on top of the Casio there. If they could have landed the stun into the pull and Orianna combo, maybe they could have actually gotten that kill, but Orianna ends up without using her ult the entire time. Grig gets focused down, he dies. Golden Guardians group up in the mid lane wanting to get some pressure down, but don't feel confident doing it, especially not with the Infernal Dragon up, so they're going to redirect their pressure there. Going to grab this one up off the back of that pick off in the mid lane. Golden Guardians up 2-0 in kills. They're going to even out this Infernal Dragon.
Real nice stuff there from Golden Guardians. Potluck. Finally enough pressure here in this mid lane.
You see him kind of ignore Grig, go over the top, try and get onto a Blaze Olive. Looked a little shaky because Grig might have been able to go onto option there, but a nice stun stops that. No Orianna ult forced out at any point here, and Grig just gets re-engaged on as well as with the Tom Kench coming in. Probably a good idea not to extend that fight as they don't have bot lane priority when they should. So it means that they're able to roam up and join in on those skirmishes in the mid lane.
Yep, as a result, Jurassic is very close to his Rage Blade. He's sitting on the awkward blasting one for a little bit, but it didn't last too much longer. And they've actually been pretty fine in this matchup, all things considered. Jurassic will just take the rest of this farm, even up the CS, or at least get it closer. And again, TSM just kind of left hanging out. You got for that next opportunity.
I think their bot lane has to start playing a little more aggressive. I know they don't have good vision control there, but you got to walk up and start harassing them under the turret to start generating advantages for your team.
Brandini also trying to do the same here in the top lane, getting nice and aggressive in onto Jenkins, but Jenkins playing it calm, getting some good damage done. Does have the Haunting guys already done, so despite the changes, we'll still be going Leandry's first by the looks of things.
Yeah, no surprise. Still going to be able to apply that very quickly. You stay in combat for a while as well with burns on everybody, so should be able to get that maddening, whatever it's called,
It is called madness.
Yep, madness. He will become mad fast.
Yep. I'm just waiting for a fully stacked madness overheated Q to just bop someone.
Yeah, we'll do a lot of damage.
Well, see if he can survive this situation. Brandini is faking the dive, kind of. No, he wants it, but does get the stun barely against all the equalizers. Nice, and I think Jenkins almost had that on his own, but Grig's going to ruin the party. Oh, goodness, that's rude. Pulls him into Brandini, and Brandini does get the kill.
Yep, Brandini gets the kill. Did enough work to make that engage free. Guardians trying to answer in the mid lane.
Ooh, that was a combo, but good devour from Special to deny the damage off Jurassic, and the 4 members here of Golden Guardians, despite Shady being in the mid lane, will not prevent that mid turret from going down.
Nope, not able to do it. The bot lane able to roam yet again against the pushing lane of Caitlyn Janna. That turret gets mirrored up on the top side, but knock-on effect as Golden Guardians continue their invades, going for this blue buff. This one finally on the Casio, first mid laner with a blue buff this game. And
always feels good, man.
Feels good, man. Grig wants to answer back by getting this Rift Herald for himself. We'll see if Golden Guardians try and contest this or let him have that so that they can control their own blue buff.
No vision in the area is going to make that tricky. Control Watch from Grig certainly helping out. Looks like he will get it uncontested. So at least taking the objective where he can. Always nice to see. As we'll check out this little bit of action again. Jenkins did very well here. to almost live, but Brandini kind of had it on lock.
Yeah, it felt like Jenkins maybe could have decided to live a little bit earlier by dropping the ultimate right away on the minion wave and clear it out, so Brandini could not combo him down to this HP percentage, where then Grig gets the really easy kill, but it's only delaying the inevitable because there'd be another minion wave just behind it. So unfortunately goes down there, and then this pressure from the bot lane roaming up, offsets, grabs that turret. And gold lead's still pretty much even at this point in the game.
And I think, again, if we can credit Brandini to having a good amount of success in his matchup so far, but the bot lane is still a bit of a head scratcher here. So much pressure from Xpecial and Jurassic pushing in this lane, despite Rallo's getting some good farm down. It just feels like the lane that should have been another pressure point for TSM is the inverse at this stage of the game.
Right, and there was that early dragon take where your jungler dies, but I don't think that will release so much pressure down here that you can no longer push in this bot lane for the rest of the game. It does feel like perhaps a lack of trading / aggressiveness resulting in TSM not being able to control this quite as much as you want. And Tom Kench and Varus are just all over the map with Potluck, meeting up, going for blue buff invades, going for roams in the mid lane, and have really stopped a Blaze Olive from being able to pressure that lane as much as Orianna sometimes can. And
I think we, again, kind of extend the thought here in bot lane. Rallo is going to be in a bit of a trough, looking to get up that static shiv and kind of farm up to 2.5 items, whereas Jurassic is ready to go here, like many Rageblade users. Once you finish that item, you just one item, let's go.
Yeah, and they're continuing to pressure it around there. Now Potluck trying to make his way down to the bot side, lands the Q.
Finds the nab, but no extension. Shady there for protection. So instead, just gonna walk it back out from under the turret, but still the siege is gonna continue here. No one from TSM Academy coming down for the bot side. Instead, it's continuing to push their strength in top lane. Rift Tower here on the T2, going to try and take it down.
Yeah, Jenkins, for some reason, not halting the wave, using one of the tools that is the most powerful tool for a Rumble in competitive play, is the amount of wave control that he has through his ultimate. You can stall out split map pushes. Gotta wonder why he didn't drop it there to leave Shelly alone under the turret. Maybe wouldn't have felt comfortable walking up to clear Shelly out either way. Felt like the turret was going to go down no matter what. But Rumble getting punished a little bit, 20 CS deficit with that one death.
Yep, you can see also Blaze Olive got, looks like a pretty good trade on sub option as well, so getting that pushed as mid laners will reset. He's going to get this pushing back in. It looks like quite a lot of gold to spend on either side, and with 5 seconds till that Infernal is up, player's going to need to get back to the next objective.
Mid laners, unfortunately, both sitting around 1,500 gold, so not getting the reset they want before this Infernal. Gotta think that works a little bit better for Cassio.
Potluck kind of trapped, does slingshot out to safety, but doesn't have too much health right now. Crab goes over to TSM Academy, who are probably going to just start this straight up. Take the Spire, throw down a control ward, and Raleigh shoots the dragon. Time to start it.
Yeah, but Jenkins is already walking down here to join.
Time to unstart it.
TP.
Alright, well, they are going to actually commit to it, never mind. Potluck maybe just hoping for a steal, stretches up and over. Doesn't get it. Now he's caught, suppressed easily by the Skarner, popped into Bloblets, and I think Raleigh's going to get himself a nice free kill.
Yeah, I was right. They get the Infernal, they get the kill. Jenkins made his way down there, couldn't actually pull the trigger on anything. And TSM got to be happy with that one now in the gold lead again. 2 Infernals.
Does feel nice as the game is kind of restabilized, and Les is finally looking empowered to knock down some turrets here and get them ahead in that magic as well. Ah, spoke too soon. Lane's too long. Gonna back away from
Lane
that
too
one.
long. Just when you think TSM's pushing bot lane's gonna push a turret, not the case.
Not yet, at least. We'll see exactly how much further along Rallo's is. Pickaxe now, so we'll track that Infinity Edge timing. 18.5 minutes through this game. Option is ready with his 2 items, and Blaze Olive is, this isn't a huge mix-up, but he's going for Oblivion Orb as his next item. So wants that Morello's, but kind of a little bit more of the aggression that used to be in old Haunting guys and code.
Yeah, and there is some, you know, Grievous Wounds is now on Morello Nomicon. There is some healing on the side of Golden Guardians with the Zac and Cassio, so you can understand it a little bit. And it feels like they potentially want one of these burstier fights where Gnar or Skarner go in and Orianna can just kind of insta-gib somebody. So I can understand why you're going for this build path. You don't want a really extended fight against the Zac, Cassio, and Rumble. Find a target and blow them up.
Well, See if they can do that. Played a very controlled game so far. Perhaps even a little too deliberate at times. As Golden Guardians are swapping over to the top lane now. Looks like they have their eyes on taking the outer ring first. Going to try and take down this top lane outer turret, where Brandini is kind of left to keep pressuring, and Jenkins is going to fend for himself here on the bot lane.
Yep, going to have a hard time taking the outer ring first, as Jenkins is getting manhandled a little bit by Brandini in this side lane.
Yeah, early Spectre's Cow plus that Black Cleaver now finished. Versus only Leandrews. Jenkins, again, could ult this wave, but playing it pretty slow under the turret, and Brandini's just going to get 3 shots off. Finally going to ult it down. Does burn it down quickly, but like you mentioned earlier, it feels like he could have done that a little sooner.
Right, if you're willing to ult the wave, why not ult it 10 seconds ago when the wave was bigger and your turret was healthier? Now he's going to back off and still lose the turret because he also got chunked out by the Gnar. Does feel like he's struggling to react to some of the situations he's put in here.
Yeah, and Brandini on the other side is just playing nice and aggressive. 30 CS lead. He's going to take that turret. Golden Guardians will stick around to put pressure on this top outer bit. There is some defense mounting here for TSM.
Yep, they kind of read that play after seeing no help come down for Jenkins. You know it's going to be up on the top side, trying to work around that Varus pickup. And Greg is happy to just sit under that turret and dissuade that dive, but mid lane has to be worried about that pressure spilling over to that Orianna pick.
Again, very patient between these two teams. Baron is a possibility, but probably not going to be left on anytime soon. Brandini here in mid lane, though, just going to stroll on by. Turns around and goes straight back towards the bot lane.
Just stopping in, sees a snake, gets scared. His bot lane, Brandini hates snakes.
I would too. Despite being an Australian, snakes are not the most fun animal.
Didn't say a bunch in the outback.
They are. That was literally the most Australian accent I have ever heard.
I don't know what.
We're gonna move on once again.
Oh, come on, man. What are we gonna talk about in this game? Talk about the accent.
I did talk about it. My feedback
those are all
bad.
Those are the entirety of your thoughts on it.
Bob's clearing out this wave. I mean, it is kind of an interesting game as far as
what the team should be doing. I can understand it.
Yeah.
Neither team has great advantages. Obviously, the Gnar pickup is really where most of this pressure is getting exerted, but they're not really attacking it. You don't see like Cassio roaming down. You don't see anything that the teams were doing before, shadowing their split pushers with like a Tom Kench ulting on top of it. Feels like both teams are very happy to kind of just farm this one out.
Yeah.
Especially Golden Guardians, who feel like their 4-man's a little bit stronger and maybe they can rush down a Baron at some point. They have a great team for doing it.
Yeah, it feels like both teams maybe a little too centered on the Baron, and with the map not being like traditionally open in the mid game with the outer ring going down, at least on the Golden Guardian side, and it took a while to get there with Brandini's pressure. Feels like the team's playing a little more cautiously than perhaps they normally would. Pollock though eats a ton of damage, and Brandini is opening up real advantages here in the bot lane. In fact, Jenkins is about to get himself solo killed. Brandini gonna not land it, needed one more.
No fadeaway, but he's not in the brush. He's gonna have to find his way out of here.
Does get out, but Brandini again can keep pressuring down the turret. It's not like Jenkins can stay and protect it right now.
Nope, definitely not. Brandini stepping up, playing aggressive, trying to show everyone how to do it. Here, like you said, the teams are struggling to find the plays and the aggressive decisions, and there's no time quite like the last game of your regular season that doesn't impact anything to be a game where you're willing to branch out a little bit more and play that aggressive play style.
Does Zeal now count as aggressive playstyle? Because it seems like the sometimes seen Phantom Dancer, unless there's the rapid fire cannon coming, in which case I'm extremely excited.
I would love for that. Probably going to be the Phantom Dancer. Probably going to try and help in these 1v1s.
Well, hello Blaze Olive. Again, especially looking for the aggressive ult. Bobson chasing down Brandini. Not a bad spot here. Jurassic just needs to find an angle on an ulti. Got to be careful for the shockwave. Ulti going to miss him. Brass Brick just already take down Special. Now there's Zach kind of in the tank line, not looking too hot. Jurassic flashed out of the ulti, but Greg, he's going to ult down in onto the Varus and take him down. Golden Guardians, they had the right idea, but that execution was not there.
Nope. The fact that Brandini had already rotated up made that play harder than it needed to be. There were a lot of opportunities where they could have looked for that play previously, but now the top laner was there. He kind of cuts off the engage onto his mid laner. Some missed abilities stopped them from finding more kills. The Orianna ult whip, but they did get enough control to force down this Baron.
Not a bad ult there from Jenkins. Actually a lot of damage on the Shady in particular, but Baron's still not low enough to go down. Poison Tick from Cassio is very ambitious. Potluck not around to try and steal that one away. Brandini going to chase it onto Jenkins. He wants to finish up the kill that he couldn't grab last time, but Megana not going to hit with the boulder toss. Brandini still going to chase. Flash Wallop is going to miss, but at least he tried it. Now keep going. He wants to get the kill, but he doesn't have his ulti. Too far forward. Second Wallop's going to miss, but I mean, might as well. Doesn't pay for it with his life.
Hey, and once again, I appreciate Brandini looking for that aggressive play.
He hurt us.
Very easily could have found the 3rd kill for himself there. Great play out of him thus far this game. Really one of the reasons TSM has been able to find an advantage as their bot lane had not put in the work needed. Here you see them looking for a Blaze Olive, but Brandini's already there cutting them off. Has enough of a Gnar bar built up. He realized he can go and turn this fight and buy space before Griggs even makes up. Good footwork out of a Blaze Olive there as well, avoiding a couple ultimates to stay alive. And at this point, the front line has already won the fight for them. Doesn't quite find the target, but they've killed 2 members now. The bot lane, 4 Golden Guardians. They can move up, as well as the fact that Potluck have been chunked out, so probably not a chance of a steal there. They have great zone control, as well as Caitlyn lays a bunch of traps down or puts her ball somewhere else, and no way for Golden Guardians to contest that Baron.
Yeah, and now I expect the look of this game to change pretty significantly as TSM Academy have all the tools to try and knock down some more of these turrets and grow a very big lead for themselves. They're already up 4K as the mid outer turret goes down.
Yep, they're going to pressure with their 4-man core, set up some sieges while Brandini down the bot lane starts building up a minion wave with his own Baron buff, starts split pushing there. They should be walking in to try and get some vision in this jungle so they don't have to be so scared of Potluck charging over the wall. Feels like they're a little uncoordinated in getting their vision control. Griggs standing alone here, kind of tempting destiny.
Yeah, I'm looking to just get some wards down. Does find himself initiated on, but Brandini roams up first and make sure TSM can get the vision control they want down there in this jungle. Brandini back over the wall with the blast cone, gonna go back down and work on that bot lane once again. And TSM, they've got a minute 30 left of this Baron. Might as well stick around and do whatever damage you can in this siege.
Yeah, you want to take as many objectives as you can here. Expand that gold lead, get more map pressure down.
A nice little pocket here for Potluck, but probably a little too tricky to find something here on the Zac.
Pretty sure they had vision of that as well.
Yeah, I think that one they did. The Wolf Pit one I like, but that one was a little too far forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So, TSM, minute left on his Baron. Turret chipped down pretty far here. Probably going to be able to finish that one off in a second.
Morales does not body block for the other marksman. Cannon Creep goes down.
He wants the glory.
Well, he's going to get the turret. And the glory that perhaps comes with it. In the meantime, taking that turret in the bot lane, Brandini putting that work in. 60 CS ahead. Ooh. And he built a Hurricane.
Is the Hurricane?
Not a Phantom Dancer.
A little surprised to see that. I feel like he's done a good job of pushing in this entire game. Doesn't need extra help pushing.
Yeah, I mean, you only use it in mini forms, so it kind of feels like, you know, that classic USB problem. Works 50% of the time every time. But I mean, you know, if he really just wants to power down the waves, I guess that's better than a Phantom Dancer. Probably not better than a Static Shift. I have too many questions. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
TSM, though, still a good siege here in the top lane.
It's one of those things where you actually like it a lot. Oh, there we go. The engage negated by the Janet Tornado, one of those things we're talking about. From behind, the rapid fire cannon is actually pretty good against like super minions because your hyper applies on everything, so you can start killing the entire minion wave very, very quickly, faster than a lot of marksmen actually, with just the percent health damage. Mr. Wallace goes out, so I'm going to keep talking. But from ahead, I don't really see the benefit. You already are able to push minion waves. The Rumble can't contest you. It doesn't really help you under turrets or anything. So I think I wouldn't mind seeing the Phantom Dancer, the greedier 1v1 build. Even the Static Shiv, like you said, potentially a better choice.
Well, it's still bearing fruit for TSM, regardless of some potential optimizations in build. We do see 2 inhibs fall down, just the mid inhibitor and its turret left, along with those 2 towers guarding the Nexus. But TSM, never a team to take things too quickly.
Nope, doing their best to mirror that Korean playstyle. We've seen a lot of LCK games, 2 to 4, 30 minutes in with massive gold leads. I think that's really, you know, what you can break this down to. This is the closest emulation to Korean gameplay that we have here in North America.
Brandini solos out the Drake though, so continuing his personal run of good form this game. Hey, look, an LCK team. Just while we're here.
TSMA, look forward to seeing them in LCK next split.
Wouldn't that be an exchange program to look out for? Honestly, if we're going to move Academy teams anywhere, might as well chuck him into the LSPL.
Yeah, I think a couple teams could fit in a little bit better there. Maybe not TSM, unless you're trying to teach them how to fight a little bit more.
TLA, though.
Yeah, TLA, right that team fits right at home in China.
All right, well, Guardian Angel actually now for Brandini, so he's left pretty heavily on damage items this go-round. And like you've seen already, there's a Baron up in a minute 20. TSM already have 2 waves of super minions in the top and the bot lane. And with just mid left to go with close to infinite pressure from Brandini in the side lanes right now. And just a lot of options to work for. TSM probably going to wait, take that Baron, and then just slowly guide the Winions to victory.
Yep, at any point here, TSM can probably just win the game. I mean, it is 7K, it's not a substantial lead. You only have 1 extra Infernal Dragon. You know, maybe you need to play a little slower. Caitlyn went for a Hex Drinker instead of a Last Whisper, so she doesn't quite do as much damage to Zach as you want. Mr. Raleigh being that kind of defensive player he's known as, not making too many mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't died that much either in the league, I believe. One of the better KDAs hanging around as Potluck is, I think, reflecting maybe some of our thoughts on this game. He understands that as the defending team, given the situation, there's not a whole lot they can do other than chill out, so he's doing just that. Kind of floating along.
Yep, TSM just
waiting for Baron. I mean, that's it at this point. They're just trying to get as many objectives and push that win probability as close to 100 as they can.
What is the, oh, hold on, we might see, nope. What is the gaming equivalent of like watching paint dry or watching grass grow?
Brandini with a solo kill. Yeah, lands it. All right.
Well, thank you, Brandini. I appreciate Brandini a lot this game.
He's the opposite of whatever you just said. Oh, TSM taking Baron. It's the double play here.
And you see everyone reacting to Brandini. That's going to get them the free Baron. Brandini can't actually grab a turret. He's going to get cut off here. He's probably going to die.
Real South Sea, Great Escape incoming. Nope, not at all. Varasalt landed. He's going to get resurrected. He will get taken down, but he probably buys enough time for his team to charge down mid and finish off the game with their Baron buff.
We'll have to see. It's 4v4, and TSM wouldn't want to overextend themselves here and potentially throw the game, so we'll see if they just work on the 3 inhibs and then reset.
Oh, Potluck in, actually not a bad opportunity, but again, pesky Jana gonna force the Zac passive flash out there from Rales. Good ult there from a Blaze Olive. Gonna keep that siege going. X-Special does save Bobshin from the damage, and no minions means that Rales has to do a few more shots. One more, come on buddy, there we go. Hey. Charging up that rapid fire cannon. Got some more shields here from the Ori and the Jana, so it will be the 3 inhib.
Yep, no engage tools really available with the Zac down and the Varasalt down, so you can walk up. There's the equalizer, but you just kind of walk over that with your shields.
Briggs hanging out, getting himself caught, actually forced to flash away, but Shady resets with the Monsoon. And 3 inhibs, although I think 2 are respawning soon-ish. For TSM, they are going to stick around for now.
Yep, so here comes that VP back in. They don't want to give him any time. Potluck will be respawning, but the turret's already been chunked down a fair amount here. Probably going to be able to finish this one pretty quickly.
Slow and steady with the Caitlyn here for TSM. As the Golden Guardians probably going to try one last hurrah. The 2018 spring season here in Academy, but Nexus starts going down at about the same time, and now Nexus exposing his respawn. They go for a Potluck. We're going to reach in, but he's not going to grab too much here. Does actually get a decent kidnap back in. They'll take down Shady, but the carry's still up. A great 4-man shockwave there from a Blaze Olive, as Rales wreaks havoc on the bot lane with all their damage. And Nexus exposed. TSM Academy, slow and steady, at least for this patch, will take down the game. They'll take a win and a bow in the final game of this season.
Quick, let's kill them in their fountain to look like we did more. Whoa, 9-4 in kills.
I feel bad because Brandini's last kill was actually really nice. You can see how much damage a very aggressively built Mark could do. I would have preferred to see Fan Banter again, a little more aggressive, but hey, Hurricane did the trick.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw Brandini was one of the biggest factors for why they were able to take that game. We talk about TSM's bot lane going for the Janna and the Caitlyn to try and pressure, but they didn't really have any the entire game. And then they realized that's not quite working out for them. Greg starts playing around the top side a little bit more. They get some dives off, start breaking turrets up there. And then that's really the reason that they were able to win this game.
Yep, TSM, as a result, did pull ahead here. We'll take a look. 23.5 minutes in. TSM with a win, plus the Baron here in the mid-game.
Once again, kind of off the back of Brandini, the fact that he's already here, doesn't need to TP in. He did a good job rotating his pressure around, builds up his Gnar bar, and then sets up the front line to get focused down. Blaze Olive does a good job of staying alive and not dying, while his team is able to kill the enemy team's front line. And then a nice suppression onto Jurassic, finds the kill onto the AD carry. After that, very easy to turn to Baron and get control of this game.
Yeah, and that was 2 inhibs. TSM were able to kind of wait the game out, get to the next Baron, and then our next moment coming up, the final fight of this game where TSM just kind of put all their advantages together and just kind of rode this one in.
Yeah, and we talk about how difficult it was to kind of play this game out for Potluck when that Janna pick came in. It was a pretty big denial pick for that Zac. Very hard to find engages, especially when you're pushing on your base, shooting yourself over the top every single time. He finally got a good kidnap off, which killed the Janna, but that was about all he got from it.
Yeah, unfortunately, killing the Janna is helpful, but not enough when the carries are just looking so strong on the TSM side. So, I mean, unfortunately, maybe a little more of a boring game than we would have liked to end the season for these two teams, but I think both can kind of walk away learning quite a lot from the season. Hopefully we'll see a lot of these players coming back next split.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case, especially for TSM side. You know, this didn't quite work out for them, and it felt like a big learning experience, especially for a guy like a Blaze Olive, who has competed in Challenger before, but has been on some of the lesser-known orgs and teams, getting under TSM, getting to hopefully learn a little bit under Bjergsen, and just the entire organization can level up, because he's a guy with a ton of promise. Everyone is really looking forward to seeing how he pans out, but this split very much struggled with consistency.
I have to agree as well, but we've got one more game of our regularly scheduled games coming up, so don't go anywhere. FlyQuest Academy faces off against Echo Fox after the break.